The human brain remembers by encoding certain important events that are observed through the senses. The brain has the capacity to form short and long-term memories. Short-term memory is used to remember what has just happened, typically only several minutes at a time. If a short-term memory is important enough, a long-term memory of it is formed. Studies show that the more factors associated with it, the stronger a memory is. These factors include emotions, smells, sounds, and feelings such as pain or pleasure. A person can improve their memory through the use of several memorization and brain training techniques. If you desperately need to remember one specific thought, the best way to remember it is by using the technique of repetition. After repeating the fact over and over, you can sleep on it to help your brain keep it as a permanent memory. The brain learns by changing the way it processes certain types of information based on observations made of other people and events. Overall, the brain makes connections between certain events and adapts appropriately to these new connections. When the brain makes the connection that two events go together, it is called classical conditioning. This type of conditioning was studied by Ian Pavlov, a psychologist during the late 1800s. Pavlov studied the salivation of dogs when presented with a sound and food at the same time. Gradually, Pavlov removed the food, but kept presenting the dogs with the sound. He found that the dogs had connected the sound with the food and would still salivate when the food was removed. A real-life example of this would be if your boss would reward you for being early to work with a bonus for the day. You would begin to connect being early with the bonus, and so be conditioned to get to work early, even if the bonus was taken away for a while. B.F. Skinner was a psychologist during the mid-1900s that studied operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is the brain learning that an action's consequences are connected with an event. Most basically, how a person has been operantly conditioned will determine the likelihood that they will perform an action in the future. An example of operant conditioning is an experiment we did in class where each of us had to condition someone to do something. I decided to condition my mom and sister to leave the house faster by positively reinforcing them when being early and negatively reinforcing them when we were late. I successfully conditioned my mom and sister, as proven by their tendency to expect positive reinforcement when getting out the door earlier. I also created a poster to help students to learn the tricks of operant conditioning in order to study better. As you can see, there are many ways to improve your studying and homework abilities through the use of conditioning. These include giving yourself rewards when completing a homework assignment or not allowing yourself to participate in a fun activity until work is done. By using these techniques, you can improve your study and homework skills significantly. Two concepts related to learning are observational learning and modeling. Observational learning is when the brain observes someone exhibiting a behavior and replicates it. This can be best observed in the age-old quote, "Monkey see, monkey do." Alex, 2014. Modeling is when a person attempts to force observational learning on someone else. This can be best observed in the quote, "Monkey do, monkey see." Time, 2014.